Hello and welcome to my channel. This is part 4 of my Sims 3 custom interaction tutorial. In the previous tutorial, we learned how to make two Sims route towards each other during an interaction. And in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how animations are done in an interaction. Okay, so here write actor.play solo animation and inside the brackets quotes comma true. Now do the same for target.play solo animation quotes comma true. Now go to your game installation directory, not the one where mods are installed, but the one where the game is installed. Go to the Sims 3 game data shared packages, and inside this package folder you can see fullbuild0.package and deltabuild0.package. And inside these two package files, all of the base game animations are stored. So open fullbuild0.package and inside this fullbuild0.package we are going to find an animation that we are going to use for our interaction. So I have decided to use this A2A soak neutral make silly face boring neutral X animation. You can use some other animation too if you want, but make sure it has an A2A prefix. A2A means adult to adult and A2O means adult to object, A2C means adult to child, T means teenager and P means toddler. So select an A2A animation of your choice. I'm going to use the make silly face boring animation. So I'm going to copy the name of this animation and then I'm going to paste it here inside the quotes. Okay, now let's build our mod and test it out in game. So as you can see, the animation is playing. However, it doesn't play in sync. That's because this method of animation is not really meant for social animations like talking or playing catch. This is mostly meant for solo animations. In my enhanced witches mod, the magical teleport interaction uses this to animate the hand movement. So if you have an interaction similar to that, then you can use this method. And now I'm going to show you how to play an animation in sync. And we're going to use a jazz script to do that. You will need the software Smooth Jazz to use jazz scripts and to make your own jazz scripts. I will post a link in the description from where you can download it. It's a free software. Don't get the one from the Mod the Sims website. That one is outdated and has issues with non-base game jazz scripts. Now the jazz scripts for all the base game and expansions and some of the store content interactions are inside Sims Tree Game Bin Jazz, and inside this folder there's a package called jazzdata.package. We are going to open this jazzdata.package using the Smooth Jazz software. I would advise you to copy and paste this jazzdata.package into a safe location instead of editing it directly. Okay, so now we have opened this jazzdata.package with Smooth Jazz, and as you can see, all the jazz scripts appear here on this list. From this list, we are going to select Social Neutral Talk. This is the jazz script for the talking animation. Social Neutral Talk is the state machine, which is the name of the jazz script. This name should be unique. It should not be the same as any other EA made jazz script or any other jazz script made by some other mod. And these are the different animation states: friendly, boring, awkward, and looping, depending on how the conversation goes. So now I'm going to go back to Visual Studio and delete the play solo animation codes. And add acquire state machine codes social neutral talk. And then enter state machine social neutral talk, comma, enter, comma, x, comma, y. And then set actor x, comma, actor. set actor Y, target. Enter sim join. And then finally animate join sims A to A sock talk listen loop 150. So this join state transitions to init, which transitions to talk. Talk can then transition to awkward, boring, friendly, or A to A SOC talk listen loop 150, which is the looping animation state. I'm going to pick the looping state here, but you can pick anything else you want. Now build the solution and then test in game. So as you can see, the animation is playing in sync. And now I'm going to show you how you can make your own jazz script. In Smooth Jazz, click New. Now write State Machine Make Silly Faces Tutorial Jazz. This will be the name of our state machine, which will be the name of our jazz script as well. And inside the curly brackets, write actor X then actor Y, and then assign actor then we are going to put the make silly face animation name here, the same one we used for the play solo animation part in the beginning of the video. So just copy paste the name of that animation here. That will be A to A SOC neutral make silly face boring neutral X. and then dot x as x, and then do the same for y. So we're going to play the X animation for both the actor as well as the target, so they'll both make the silly face instead of one making the face and the other reacting to it. Okay, now we're going to make the animation states. So write state animate sims and then inside the curly brackets write transitions to exit. Now write play animation name for X and then play animation name for Y. Here you put the animation name for the make silly face, the same one you used for assign actor. Okay, now write state enter properties public, entry, explicit. And this transitions to animate sims, right? Transitions to animate sims. And then finally state exit. Properties public, entry, explicit. Okay, now save this JavaScript into your mods package file. Go to package into and then find your mods package file. Okay, and then when you open your mod using smooth jazz, your jazz file appears on the list, and then when you click it, it's going to appear with the state machine's name. Now in Visual Studio, I'm going to add this JavaScript to my interactions code. So replace social neutral talk with make silly faces tutorial jazz. Do the same in enter state machine, and in enter sim remove join and instead write enter. In Animate Join Sims, replace the A to A sock and instead add Animate Sims. Okay, now build this mod, then import the DLL, and then let's test in our game and see if it works. So as we can see, our animation is playing in sync. Okay, so now I'm going to create a custom animation for Sims 3 and then play that in our interaction. I'm going to be using Blender and add-ons for Blender to make Sims 3 animation mods. I'll provide links to where you can download Blender and on tutorials on how to set up Blender for making Sims 3 mods. I'm using Blender version 2.7.0 for making Sims 3 mods. I also have the 2.9 version for other stuff like video editing. You can have multiple versions installed at the same time. I'm actually using Blender to make these tutorial videos as well. Now I'm not really an animator, but I do know how animations are made for Sims 3. Okay, so let's get started. So I have opened this project with this Sims rig. So these black dots on the Sims body are how the Sim moves. They're like bones. Press A with one of these black dots selected to select all of the dots. All of the dots should get a blue highlight. You might have to press A more than once. Okay, and now press I. And so a sub menu pops up. From this menu, select Lock Rot, which means location and rotation. And as you can see, a keyframe now appears. Now in the animation player, come over here and we're going to place another frame here. We're going to move the player's leg and arm. Select the black nodes related to the leg and arm movement. Press R to rotate the limbs, and if you press X, Y or Z after it, then it rotates in that direction. Now press A again to select the whole body and then press I and then Lock Rot. So now we have a new keyframe. And as you can see, our sim is animating. Now in the animation player, go a few frames later and now bring the arm and the leg down and bring the Sim's other arm and other leg up. So this is going to be our animation. Your animation can be anything you want. It doesn't have to look like mine. Okay, now export this animation and give it a new name. I'll name it tutorial test animation. Now import this animation to your mods.package file with s3pe. Okay, and here click on clip IID. And now we'll make a jazz script for this animation. This jazz script is going to be exactly like the previous one, so we'll just copy the make silly faces jazz and then make something new out of it. I'm going to name this state machine custom animation tutorial jazz. And then instead of the make silly face animation, I'm going to write the name of this new animation that we made, tutorial test animation. Now save this jazz script just like we did with the previous one. Package into your mod file. Keep in mind that your mod should not be opened with s3pe when you're doing this. because the package file cannot be opened with two different softwares. Now in Visual Studio, we're going to replace the previous jazz script with our own, with this new one that we made. Okay, now let's test and see if it works. So as you can see, this animation that we made is now playing, and it is playing in sync. When creating an animation, you should prefix it with either A or A to A or A to C or C if the animation is for child. That's how EA does it as well. A subscriber of mine, Hiroshi Nakamura, asked me to show him how to make animations with props like drinking a potion, giving gifts, or playing catch with a ball. I'm not really experienced in this, as I'm not very experienced in animations in general, but I did look into it, and I'll tell you what I've learned to at least push you into the right direction. Okay, so we're in Blender now. I have imported the potion throwing animation to these two sims and also this potion bottle on the ground. And as you can see, the potion bottle is on the floor and not on the throwing sim's hand. That's cause this is how most prop animations are handled by EA. The prop isn't animated to be on the sim's hand, it is attached through different means. So these are the potion throw animations and also the gift giving animation in a .package file. I exported these animations and imported them to this new package file for this tutorial. So this A to A alchemy potion throw potion, X is for actor and Y is for target sim, and potion is the animation for the potion bottle. So inside this potion animation, there are these events. This parent event is the one where the potion gets attached to the sim's hand, the sim's right hand. Time code means at what time this event will activate, and slot ID here means the ID of the sim's body part where this event will activate. And these visibility events, I believe these events are the ones that make the props appear and then disappear, like making a spatula appear while cooking, or the bowl and then making it disappear. In the potion throw Y animation, there's also a script event. A script gets triggered at this point in the animation. What the script does is defined in the interactions code. So this is the code for the potion throw interaction as written by the Sims Trees developer. And this is how the script event gets triggered. So this method throw VFX event gets triggered whenever the script event is activated in the animation. And inside this method, the potion throw VFX is happening. I believe that this method is where the potion bottle detaches itself from the actor's hand and lands on the target's feet. For witches, these spell casting animations have a script event like this as well. That script will either shoot a fire VFX or ice or sunlight or red smoke depending on the spell. So it can use the same animation for fire blast, ice blast, motive charms, etc. Animation events are something I have very little knowledge of, and this was all I knew about animating with props. But as I research more and learn more about it, I'll make more tutorials about it in the future. And what I've shown you here in this video is enough to point you towards a direction, so where you can figure it out on your own. If you want help with a project regarding prop animation, then you can post in the Mod the Sims modding discussion forums, and you can tag me at @puddingface, and then I'll get a notification about it, and I'll do my best to help you out. So that concludes this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.